Welcome to Rodgers on Recruiting with your host, Randy Rodgers. Randy Rodgers is a veteran of over 35 years in the college recruiting arena. As a major college coach and Division I recruiting coordinator, Rodgers brings a unique Texas perspective to the college recruiting process.
Welcome back, folks, to Rodgers on Recruiting. Our guest tonight is Tommy DeLong, who's one of the managing partners for College Promoters of Texas. One of the topics that faces all parents who want to see their child go and play college football is the topic of recruiting services. And so we thought we'd spend a little bit of time tonight talking about those, and in particular, College Promoters of Texas. So welcome to our show, Tommy.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, tell us a little bit about College Promoters of Texas, how long you've been in business, and kind of things that you do.
Sure. College Promoters of Texas, our home office is obviously here, in San Antonio. We've got locations in Austin and Houston and, coming up throughout the state, and been here for dang near 20 years. We're coming up on our 17th anniversary here pretty quick. We've worked with over 2,200 student athletes from the state of Texas. And that's really the biggest difference in College Promoters of Texas versus, XYZ service. We're based in Texas. We work with Texas high school student athletes and really helping them maximize the recruiting process. This only happens once. There's a lot of do's and don'ts. There's a lot of things that can and should be done. And, over the years we've built up a great network, and we've gained a lot of knowledge in this industry, and just really helping these student athletes and parents navigate through the process, and in the end really maximizing the process and getting the best opportunities academically and athletically, financially out of it.
Okay, you mentioned a couple times about maximize, use that term, maximize the process. Elaborate a little bit that for me.
Really what that is about is some student athletes are going to get the opportunity to go on and play. And so what we want to do there is really help them get the best opportunities. Don't settle for a school just because that's the only school that offered, or that's the only recruitment you got, because more than likely there's maybe not something better out there, but there's other opportunities out there. And just really helping the student athlete get as much exposure, get as many opportunities financially, academically, athletically, offers, so that they can make the best decision and they aren't forced to settle and pick between one or two or three. We want them to have as many opportunities as possible, go see campuses, talk to different coaches, just make sure they're at the right place. And then, unfortunately for a lot of student athletes, that last game of their senior season is going to be the last time that they ever play football, organized outside of intramurals or something like that. So helping those student athletes find something, whether it be, a smaller school in Oklahoma or Kansas, or even some of the smaller programs coming around in Texas, the NAIs popping up in Texas, or, some of the smaller D2s in New Mexico, just helping those student athletes that love the game and aren't getting the big 4- and 5-star recruitment, making sure that they, know what to do and have opportunities, and that way they can maximize their process as well, just in a little different way.
Okay. We're talking with Tommy DeLong from College Promoters of Texas. I think if I had the numbers right, I wrote them down here, 2,200 some athletes in really 17, 18, 20 years, which strikes me as this is not a volume business like some other recruiting services. So talk a little bit about how you're different, and particularly about the lack of volume of prospects.
Yeah, sure. That you said it. I mean, the difference is we're family owned, and the way that we're going to grow, Randy, is not through trying to get as many student athletes as possible, because at some point you just lose touch. We're a personal, hands-on, get to know you. We meet face to face with 99% of our student athletes. We try to meet with every one of them, get to know the families. It's hard for us to imagine that you can truly help a student athlete if you have no idea who he or she is. And so that's really what sets us apart. And the way that we want to grow and really help more student athletes than what we are now is taking our home office and duplicating that so that we have a live person in an office in Dallas, and a person in an office in Houston, a person in an office in Austin, in West Texas, in Oklahoma City. Who knows where it could go? But trying to grow, but keep our hands-on, family-owned integrity. We work with about 100 seniors every year, which full-time employees, that's about 15 or 20. It's like a good classroom, about 15 or 20 kids to one employee, which is where we're comfortable. We could probably try to get to 150, 200 student athletes as seniors a year. We just would lose touch with really the essence of college promoters, which is that hands-on personal guidance and coaching through the process, going along with our video and the other things that we provide. So yeah, we're absolutely not a volume business. We just want to duplicate what we're doing right now.
Okay, you just mentioned video. Talk a little bit about how you're a player in the video end of things, and what kinds of things you provide a student athlete or the student athlete's family when they sign up with College Promoters of Texas.
Sure. The initial thing is, like I said, we want to sit down and get to know the student athlete, so we really know, what are their goals? Geographically, where do they want to be? Where do they want to study? How big of a school? Do they want to go to a big school in a small town, or vice versa? Really getting, kind of setting those parameters and those filters. And then also, from there, we're going to coach the student athlete on, filling out questionnaires and how to email coaches, when to email coaches, what to include in that email. We're going to set up an online profile and highlight video that's embedded so that coaches from all over the country can watch the student athlete and really start recruiting and determine if that student athlete is somebody that they want to pursue further from their desk. They don't have to fly all over the country. It really allows, we were just talking, it allows coaches from Colorado and coaches from Kansas to recruit Texas student athletes, or at least see Texas student athletes without having to, fly a coach down, or, really use a lot of time and limited resources and money. Video is a key part of what we do. In our opinion, video can really be a make or break. It can be a huge tiebreaker. A student athlete with a good video versus a student athlete with no video or a very poor video. That student athlete with the video that has stayed in contact with the coach, that has gotten the coach updated video periodically over from maybe the end of the sophomore spring ball time through the senior year, that athlete can really elevate himself or herself above another student athlete that hasn't been doing those things. And even down to something as little as a nice label on a hard copy DVD that you send to a coach on his DVD, something as little as that. So there's a lot of things that can be done. And then from that point, really guiding and coaching the student athlete and the family on how to get from point A to that offer and getting into the school. From day one, just meeting the student athlete, to day one of college, we're here providing the email addresses, the recruiting coordinators, position coach, the sample letters, emails of what you should say, or what you should be doing, week 4 of your junior year, and week 8 of your junior year, and spring ball of your junior year, and week 2 of your senior year. Just that whole timeline from when we meet them until hopefully they commit.